The Reich Party Rallies. Between 1923 and 1938, the streets of Germany witnessed some of the most carefully orchestrated displays of political power in modern history. These were the Reichsparteitag, the Reich Party Rallies of the Nazi Party. What began as modest single-day gatherings would eventually transform into week-long spectacles of propaganda and pageantry. After Hitler seized power in 1933, these rallies became something far more sinister, massive demonstrations designed to mesmerize both participants and the world watching from afar. Filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl would immortalize these events in her infamous works, Triumph of the Will and Victory of Faith, films that blur the line between documentation and propaganda to this very day. The stage the Nazis needed a stage for their ambitions. Munich hosted the first rally in January 1923. 3 years later, they gathered in Weimar. But neither city would become the permanent home for these demonstrations. In 1927, they found what they were looking for: Nuremberg. This medieval city in the heart of Germany offered everything the Nazi leadership desired. The Reichsparteitagsgelände, a vast open field, could accommodate hundreds of thousands. The location was central, easily accessible from across the Reich. And crucially, Nuremberg lay in Franconia, a region where Nazi support ran deep. Here party members would receive their commemorative badges, symbols of belonging to something they believed was greater than themselves. The spectacles begin. The pattern was established early. January 27, 1923, the first rally in Munich. September 1st that same year, another gathering in Nuremberg. The movement was gaining momentum. July 4th, 1926, Weimar hosted the second official Reichsparteitag. August 20th, 1927, back to Nuremberg for the third rally, captured in the propaganda film A Symphony of the Will to Fight. August 2nd, 1929, the fourth rally drew even larger crowds, documented in the Nuremberg Party Rally. Then silence. Between 1930 and 1932, Nuremberg city authorities banned the rallies entirely. Previous gatherings had sparked too much violence, too much chaos in the streets. But this prohibition wouldn't last. The Triumph years 1933 changed everything. Hitler was now Chancellor of Germany, and the rally that August told the world exactly what that meant. From August 30th to September 3rd, Nuremberg hosted the Rally of Victory. The message was clear: the Weimar Republic had fallen, a new order had risen. September 1934 brought perhaps the most infamous rally of them all. Over 6 days, 700,000 people descended on Nuremberg for what would be called the Rally of Will. Riefenstahl's cameras captured every torchlight parade, every raised arm, every carefully choreographed formation. Triumph of the Will would become one of the most powerful and most disturbing propaganda films ever made. The rallies continued, each with its own carefully chosen theme. September 1935, the Rally of Freedom, celebrating Germany's open defiance of the Treaty of Versailles and the rebuilding of its military. But this rally had a darker purpose. Here, in Nuremberg, the Reichstag convened to pass the Nuremberg race laws, legislation that would strip Jewish citizens of their rights and set Germany on an inevitable path toward genocide. September 1936, the Rally of Honor, marking German troops' reoccupation of the Rhineland. September 1937, the Rally of Labor, with Nazi leaders boasting of falling unemployment figures, carefully omitting the true costs of their economic policies. September 1938, the Rally of Greater Germany, celebrating the forced annexation of Austria earlier that year. The crowds were jubilant. Few could see what was coming. The rally that never was. September 1939 was supposed to bring the Rally of Peace. The theme itself was grotesque propaganda, a cynical attempt to portray Germany as a nation seeking harmony with its neighbors. But on September 1st, 1939, one day before the rally was scheduled to begin, German forces invaded Poland. The Soviet Union, bound by secret agreement, would follow from the east. The rally was cancelled. The Second World War had begun. The era of the Reichsparteitag had ended, but its legacy of manipulation, spectacle, and the weaponization of mass gatherings would haunt the world for decades to come.